Welcome back to the NATO Public Forum. My name is Marvin, and I'm not sitting here alone. I'm with Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya. Nice that you're here. You were running as a presidential candidate in 2020 in Belarus. First of all, thank you very much for being here, and hope you're not too stressed out during your second or third day during the NATO Public Forum.
I feel wonderful. Thank you for the invitation.
I would like to talk with you about your role in Belarus, outside of Belarus. Can you explain to someone who has no clue about you, who you are and what you actually do?
So first of all, for me, important that people know about Belarus as about country, because before 2020, I suppose that there were millions of people in the world who even didn't realize where Belarus was. And, our uprising in 2020, uprising against fraudulent elections, against Lukashenko, rediscovered Belarus to the world. And since then, I see how society is understanding more and more about our country, that we are not appendix or part of Russia. We are a separate country that wants better future for our nation, that want to return to European families of countries. But Lukashenko, who was president for many, many years in Belarus, he's dragging our country back into the past, into Soviet Union. He's dragging our country to Russia. And yes, when my husband was arrested, because it was him who wanted to participate in elections, I stood instead of him. Because I also, at that time, I started to realize that we are losing our country, and just we have what we have. For 4 years already, there are repressions against Belarusians who are opposing Lukashenko's regime, who are supporting Ukrainians in this war. And I was chosen by Belarusian people as president back in 2020, but Lukashenko seized the power. I had to leave Belarus, and since then I am together with my people advocating for Belarus and trying to release our country from Lukashenko and from grip of Russia.
In 2020, as we discussed, and you also mentioned again, you ran against Lukashenko during the presidential election. Officially, you lost. You stayed differently. The mass protests, which we saw afterwards, are gone now. What is left from that election from 2020? And we also had another election in 2024. What is left from your run for the presidential position?
People left. That our movement, our democratic aspirations, they haven't disappeared. Yes, Lukashenko managed to suppress our uprising, managed to put in prisons thousands of people. He managed to make people leave Belarus, at least 500,000 left since 2020 because huge level of repressions. He managed to make Belarus a huge prison. Now we live like in Stalin's time, but he didn't manage to make people like him again. Belarusian nation will never forget, will never forgive Lukashenko for all the atrocities and tortures that we have experienced, and Belarusian people want to return to Europe.
You live in exile now? In Latvia, if I'm Lithuania. What would happen if you would go back to Belarus now?
So, first of all, I already was sentenced to 15 years in absentia. I'm declared as extremist and I suppose terrorist, I don't remember, in Belarus. So for sure, I will be immediately detained in my country. So I might do this, because this is my country, I haven't done anything
You might
wrong.
go back.
I can't, I might, but, I think that I maybe can be more effective when I'm on freedom. I can be, more vocal and do much more for Belarus than being in prison. We already have thousands of people, active people in Belarusian prisons who are dying, literally dying there. My husband, he disappeared for more than 1 year. I don't know where he is, if he's alive in Belarusian prisons. He's kept incommunicado mode. This is the fate of active Belarusians. So I, being in exile, I can be more useful for Belarus.
How does it make you personally feel to be sentenced, as you said, to 15 years in prison, to be some sort of enemy of the state?
I'm not the enemy of the state. I'm not the enemy of the people. I'm fighting dictatorship shoulder to shoulder with Belarusians. And this 15-year sentence means nothing to me, because it's revenge of Lukashenko against those who are opposing him. So of course, it can influence, my security, because I'm absolutely sure that I have this red notice in Interpol, and if crossing the border, they can interrogate me, for example, why I'm in this red notice. So
just like randomly.
Yeah, but it doesn't influence my life. It only makes me more angry, with this regime, and this anger transforms into energy to continue this fight.
If you would have gone to be the president, or if you would be, how would Belarus look today?
If in 2020 we Belarusian people managed to get rid of the regime with support of democratic allies, now Belarus would already be reliable partner to the democratic world. I think that the war against Ukraine wouldn't started if we won our fight back in 2020, because Belarus is strategically important for Russia, and I think that in 2020 Putin saved Lukashenko because he knew that Lukashenko will be loyal to him and he will give up Belarusian territory to invade Ukraine. So I really believe that with good governing and management, Belarus can be economically prosperous and reliable partner for our democratic neighbors.
Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, thank you so much for taking the time, and thank you so much for talking to me. It was a pleasure learning about you and learning about your journey.
Thank you, NATO.
And we'll see us in different videos here from the NATO Public Forum again. Thank you for watching.